Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a warm welcome to Mick Miller?
Thanks, Cam. Well, we got here eventually. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, I've got to go to Chorley tonight and make 300 people laugh. And he gave me some tablets. So, if you all take one now. I know you're probably looking at me and thinking Hulk Hogan's let himself go. This is what Donald Trump looks like when he comes out of the shower, this is. What happens when you comb your hair with a no-no? I don't like country western music.
Yeah?
Well, get yourself a life, mate. That lockdown was dreadful, wasn't it? 18 months with no work, I couldn't believe it. I mind you, I kept myself busy, a few charities. Blackpool Zoo, me and the wife, bad winter, wasn't it? So me and the wife were knitting scarves for giraffes. 40 foot long. And then I painted the rhinoceros white and told all the kids it was a fat unicorn. Then I started doing them bonsai trees, the little trees. And I started selling them. I couldn't believe how, and it went so well. I opened a business doing it, and I had to move into smaller premises. I've got a brother, he's a vet, and he's also a taxidermist, and he's got a great slogan, whatever happens, you'll get your dog back. I keep rescue dogs. I've got one now, Charlie, bless him, he's got an ingrowing tail. And he cost me a fortune, because get him x-rayed every day, see if he's happy. I do love my dogs. You know what a Shih Tzu is? It's a zoo with not many animals in it. My wife comes out with classics. I was going to Halford, she went, oh, will you get me some turtle wax? I'm going to do my car. I said, all right, love you, I'll get you some. Couldn't believe it. A little bottle like that was 30 quid. I said, you know how much that was? That was 30 quid. Turtle wax, 30 quid. She said, they've only got little ears. I hate people that take drugs, customs officers and policemen. No, but also in lockdown, I went to some stables. I said, can I work in the stables? They said, well, are you all right mucking at horses? I said, yeah. I said, you ever shoot a horse? I said, no, I told a donkey to piss off. My father actually knew the day he was going to die. A judge told him. He was in America, put them in an electric chair. The warden said, have you got a last request? He said, hold my hand. And every year on his anniversary, we put a little wreath by the fuse box. But never touched an electrician with no eyebrows. British Gas phoned me. They said, Mr. Billy, your gas bill's outstanding. I said, thanks very much. You're going to make a payment? I said, well, unfortunately, you're placed in the queue. Your call is important to us. Well, answer the fucking phone. Oh, so the next day, there's a knocking on my door. A fella stood there, 3'6" he was. I said, what do you want? He said, I'm the meter man. So I said, No, Debenhams was closing down in Blackpool. So they had the sale, everyone was there, weren't they? And the wife said, oh, I've got to get some of that essential oil. I said, well, how have you survived for fucking 60 years? I've got a son, Dick. That's not his name, he's just a dick. He went out on a date, and I said, how'd you go on at your date? He said, well, Dad, he said, I just said, can I take you home? And she said, I'm on my menstrual cycle. He said, well, I'll follow you back on my Lambretta. This posh bloke went to the doctor said, you've got a sexually transmitted disease. He said, doctor, that's impossible. He said, well, I'm telling you, I'm the doctor, you've got a sexually transmitted. He said, well, I must have quoted off a toilet seat. He said, well, you must have been chewing it because it's in your gums. Well, I realised this year I'm the same age as old people. Dreadful getting old, isn't it? But we have the NHS, which is the best in the world. And they send you little presents. I got a present last year. Quite a stiff little envelope. With 3 sticks in it. Now you youngsters, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you now. These 3 sticks, you've got to poo on the sticks and send them back. Well, I had to send away for more sticks. Because my aim isn't that good. And then I couldn't close the envelope. And I sent it to my brother. This next song. Did that look horrible? Were you a friend of the deceased? Have you noticed as we get older in life, you know, the wedding invitations stop. Oh, then the funerals kick in. I don't mind a good funeral, you know, something to eat, something to drink. Don't have to take a present. The last funeral I went to, I caught the wreath. No, I was at one and we went back to the house for the wake. I just happened to say to the widow, have you got the Wi-Fi code? She said, don't you think that's a bit inappropriate at a time like this, you horrible, bald bastard? I said, is that all in lowercase? That's a man checkup. How embarrassing was that? A man checkup. So I've gone in, he said, can you lie face down on the bed? I said, face down, please. Can you stick your leg out to the side? Then you heard the snap of the rubber glove. Now this fellow's coming at me with a finger. How would you make a conversation? I said, you on Twitter? Anyway, he did what he had to do. And he walked out and the nurse came in. She said, who was that? I was in London doing a gig and I thought, once in my life I'll do that. You know Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. So I've gone in. Cheapest thing on the menu, 48 quid. I thought, I'll have that. Boneless chicken. Anyway, the waiter come off first, you know, he said, would you like soup of the day? I said, no, I tried that once in France, don't like it. Cheapest, I'll have the boneless chicken. So it arrived, fried egg, I suffer from depression. And I went to McDonald's, got a Happy Meal. That didn't work. I phoned that Domino's Pizza, and I've got this prat on the phone. He said, "Hello, Domino's Pizza, Carl speaking, how can I help you?" I said, "Well, have a guess, Carl." I said, "Have you got a radiator cap for a 1979 Antiques Roadshow never goes to a place where people are skinned, do they? Hey? You never see me in Wigan, Bradford, do you? We're not from Wigan, is it? Is it really? I love Wigan. It reminds me so much of Paris. I'm watching the Antiques Roadshow from Eastbourne. This fella's come on, he said, "I'm 96 years old, we moved into this cottage when I was 2 years old, and all them years this has just been sat in the loft." He said, "It's your water tank." Well, we can get back to flying now, can't we? I don't like flying. No. Well, if you're nervous flying, people always say to you, don't they, "Well, if your number's up, your number's up." What if it's the pilot's number's up? Why get me involved? Manchester Airport, you're excited, aren't you? I've gone up to the woman, sat behind the desk with a Thunderbird hat on. She's pissed off, isn't she? Give her the ticket, the passport. She looked at me and she went, "Far Q." Say that again. Said the Far Q. Said, "That's all right then." So I'm stood now in the Far Q. She said 4-hour delay. I said, "Oh, why's that then?" She said, "Well, a pilot had a funny noise in the engine. It'll take us 4 hours to find a pilot that can't hear it." Very stupid questions start, don't they? Does anyone you don't know put anything in your case? You don't know anyone I don't know? Has anyone you don't know given you anything? So I went to Pontins once. They've only got a wee little washing bag and they've took me tweezers out, which are 2 inches long. I said, "Sorry, you can't take tweezers on the plane. It's a dangerous weapon. But take one of that gentleman over there and put him in that bucket with them machetes and scissors." So I'm trying to imagine now the damage you could do on a plane with these tweezers. I mean, obviously you could run at the pilot, couldn't you? "Take me to Cuba." "Stay back." "Take me to Cuba." "Well, I'll rip the hairs out your nose." So you get rid of your luggage, then it's through to duty free. I can't believe that, duty free. Who needs a Toblerone as big as a fucking cricket bat? Have you seen them Toblerones at the airport? You could park a bike in them. And they do it on purpose now. Have you noticed every airport, you've got to walk through all the perfumes now to get to your plane. And you know you've got the wife with you. So I'm walking through all these perfumes now. The wife is now like a truffle pig. So now I'm sat on the plane, the stewardess starts, "Ladies and gentlemen, the emergency position is put your head between your knees." I said, "Well, I could do that, I wouldn't be flying to Thailand. The life jacket, that's the classic one, isn't it? Over your head, twice around your waist, tied at the side, and a double bow. So now you're hurling to the sea at 12,000 miles an hour. Stewardess, she's there straight away, ain't she? Can you put your table up? Apparently, if you hit the water at 12,000 miles an hour, the corner of that table could have your eye out. On the life jacket light, which comes on in contact when you hit the water, and you can see these lights from what, inch and a half away, do you reckon? And you've got a bit of backup, whistle. 12-foot shark, chewing on your leg. You've got a whistle. That's when you need your tweezers. So on one flight, the pilot came up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you picked a great day for flying. Up front here, it's absolutely beautiful. Sit back, relax." Oh my God! And it went quiet for like 4 minutes, and then he came back on and, "Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that." And the stewardess brought a cup of coffee into the cockpit. She dropped it right in my lap. You want to see the front of my trousers? I said, "You want to see the fucking back of mine?" So we arrived in Spain, learned a bit of Spanish. One Spanish word I'll never forget is choo-choo. Remember that? If you ever go to Spain? Choo-choo. I come out this bar in Benidorm, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just felt this gun in my back. And a voice said, "If you don't give me your wallet, I'm going to choo-choo." So I thought I'd try Spanish food. I went to a Spanish restaurant. I had an octopus. He said, "Octopus takes 4 hours." I said, "Why is that then?" He said, "Well, we cook them when they're alive and they keep turning the gas off." I did a show with a Chinese magician. His name was On Too Long, and he came on. Because I started in this game many, many years ago in a travelling circus. I didn't do an act, but they kept me on for 7 years. I was the only one who got the tent in the bag. And hello. We had some fabulous acts. We had the Human Cannonball. I only met him once. But he was on good money, £300 a week plus a bit of mileage. We had 2 brothers on the trampoline. They were from Prague. They're bouncing checks. No, we went to the circus as a kid. Unusual act, the strong man, the fat tattooed lady. Now they're fucking everywhere. I always say to young girls, don't wear a tattoo when you're 17, because you might have a little robin tattooed in your shoulder when you're 17, and when you're 65, that'll look like an ostrich. Oh, I had great days in the circus. We had trapeze artist, bless him, he was incontinent. He used to warm the crowd up. Right, so where were you from? Where are you from, sir? Are you local? Whereabouts? Chorley. Yeah. You got your mask on? Good luck. Yeah. I should have worn mine, shouldn't I? Great for the facials. Are you from Chorley as well, love? Wonderful. Leyland. The Leyland Tiger, remember that? Yeah. What a shithole that was. Used to have a pig on the bar as an air freshener. Yeah. I'm only serious. Where are you from, my love? Jolly. Oh. Who's looking after the town tonight? You from Jolly? Adlington? Never heard of it. Where's it from? Where is it near? Down road. Well, everywhere's down the road, isn't it? Oh, this job travelling down the country, you know, not for the last 2 years, but that M6 was a disgrace, wasn't it? 15 years, 2 lanes from Warrington to Stoke. I'll never forget being in it. It takes 3 hours to get from Warrington to Stoke on a Friday night. But as you drove into it, there was a big hoarding, you know, and it said, little kid, about 9 years old, with a high-vis jacket and a hard hat. And it said, drive safely. My daddy works here. When? 15 years? And you always stuck next to someone, aren't you? I'll never forget, I was parcel force man. I was in the next lane for 15 miles. And he wound his window down. He said, have you got the time, mate? I said, yes, between 9 and 5-ish. Tell you what's kept me going, the middle aisle at Lidl. Can't beat it. Thursday, I'm there at 8 o'clock. Lidl, they have some fabulous stuff, all English. There's some fabulous English veg, some bread that's baked daily in the shop, English steak, some welding goggles, an angle grinder, and a very nice riding hat. They always put a Lidl right next to a council estate, then they start selling fucking skiing gear. Because Tesco's, they sell some weird stuff, don't they? Recycled toilet paper. How did they get hold of that? I'll fancy a trip round that factory. Got to sell by days on sour cream. Yes, that, isn't it? Do you know I opened a tin of evaporated milk and it was full? I got the manager out the other week just for a laugh. He said, can I help you, sir? I said, yeah, but there's multi-purpose compost. I'm going to put most of it on my plants. Can you tell me some other uses? What's the only thing in the trolley hasn't got a price on it? Packet of condoms. Now that's when the staff get their fun, isn't it? Price check, Mary! Jorex Featherlight banana flavour. For this bald chap. Flavoured condoms? I didn't know he had taste buds down there. Do you know, I bought some mint flavour, they were that nice, I had it myself. A bit like Wrigley's, but you can blow a bigger bubble with them. Grandkids are funny, aren't they? Oh, I've got this, he's 10. And you know, every time I see him, I always like bung him. And the other week, bunged him a tenner. I said, here, don't tell your mother. He said, it cost you more than that. Got a mate of mine in Liverpool, and he's always in and out of prison. And last time I saw him, he said, hey Mick, he said, I robbed this place last night. He said, I've got 2 pictures. One picture is worth 1.6 million quid. The other one's worth 1.9 million quid. Come and have a look. They're in my boot. And he's opened his boot. I said, you robbed an estate agent. So we haven't been abroad, so took the grandkids in one of them Haven caravan parks. You been in a static caravan? I hated every minute of it. Every time I put my key in the door, my hair used to fly up like that. Well, wait a minute. Static. But one night in a caravan I was converted, I pierced my ears and started selling scrap. A week in a caravan and you realise what a nice house you've got. But the world's gone mad, hasn't it? I can't believe it. Have you seen this gender equality now? They can leave school, they can be, alright. Go on then, go, walk out that door. Don't turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. The man's gone out that door, if a woman comes in this door, it's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow. Yeah, gender equality and all that, I can't believe it. What's happening? Nothing new to me. I remember I was only 9 years old and I was talking to my Uncle Margaret. My antihistamine, and and the wife decided we're vegan now. That's brilliant. Had a great lunch today. Had some rainwater and a bowl of moss. Any vegetarians with us? Oh, they haven't got their energy to put their hand up, have they? Oh, broccoli. Tried it once for a month being a vegetarian. After the second week, I used to wake up in the morning and started to lean to the light. I don't know. Mate of mine last night in the pub, go in a pub in it and sit down and have a. And he went, oh, the wife just bought some of them meatloaf knickers. I said, meatloaf knickers? Oh, I said, no. On the front, does it say, I'd do anything for love? And on the back, it says, I won't do that. He said, no, they're just fucking massive. So there's 4 girls from Chorley, and they go to Preston for the night. They're spent up, so they've got no money, so they start walking back on the A6. You know, with the Louboutins. Skirt up to here. No coats. And all of a sudden, one's gone missing. They go, Tracy! Tracy, where have you gone? Tracy! You heard this voice, I'm over here. Over here. So anyway, one of them, right, she put the torch on the phone, over the hedge. Tracy is lying under a cow, sucking one of the others. They said, Tracy, what are you doing? She said, one of these 4 fellas must have a car. Yeah. I bought this watch in Benidorm a couple of years ago, and it's still good. You know, it's a Rolex. We all do it, don't we? You know, they always sell it dead on 12 o'clock. At 5 past, you realise there's only one hand on it. The 29th of October. But I'm an atheist, thank God. I was an atheist, I'll give it up, there's no holidays. Can't believe, why have they put that like that? Do you like them shoes? I found them outside a mosque. So when I asked the wife to marry me, she said, well, do you know, ever since I was a little girl, I always had dreams of getting married in a castle. I said, well, that's what we'll do then, we'll get married in a castle. And we did. And do you know what, her faces, we were bouncing up and down. Yeah. Them Americans make me laugh. You know, when they say they're going to do something in America, they do it, don't they? Bin Laden. They said they'd get Bin Laden, didn't they? They said they'd get him, and they got him. I mean, it took them 20 years to get him. And they found him in his house. I've always hated dentists ever since I was a kid. And it's that sign, isn't it? Practice. I mean, the dentist never speaks to you, does it? It's always an assistant, isn't it? She puts you in the chair. Then she gives you the pink stuff, you know, the Campari disinfectant. And I never drink it, you know. When she turns her back, I spit it in the bowl. Then he injects you, and when half your head doesn't work, he wants a conversation. How's the wife? Now I'm talking like Peter Beardsley all day. He never tells you not to have anything to eat or drink when you go home. When you go home, and you have a cup of coffee and it's all poured out the side of your head. You have a sandwich, you bet your tongue. This next song. I can't believe that opera. Why did they put it on telly? Because you can't understand a word they're saying. But every opera is exactly the same, isn't it? There's always the same people. There's always a fat bird with plaits, tin tits and a helmet. And she walks on and goes, then a big fat fellow with a beard and an earring, he walks on and goes, ha 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 ha! And she stabs him straight through the heart. Oh, but he doesn't die. No, he wants to sing then. She stabbed me, she stabbed me, she got me. Over my career, you know, remember that film, Tenko? Well, being an equity, you know, you can go and be an extra. Or as my wife calls them, a spare part. So I went to be an extra on Tenko, the film. Anyway, so they dressed me up like a Japanese prisoner of war. Me and like 15 thin blokes. And this producer has walked over, and he wasn't exactly a scrum half from Wigan. He said, what are you supposed to be? I said, I'm a Japanese prisoner of war. He said, you're 17 stone. I said, well, they only caught me yesterday. I do the troop gigs in Afghanistan and Iraq and all them. So I went to Bosnia. And when you do these gigs, you get a letter from the Ministry of Defence, and it says, thanks for going entertaining the troops. You're going to Bosnia. It's going to be 20 below zero when you're there. You need plenty of thermal underwear, plenty of woolen hats, and there are snipers, so keep your head down. Showed this to the wife. I said, you've got to get me thermal underwear and plenty of woolen hats. I said, look at that at the end. The snipers, keep your head down. So she went shopping. She came back with a bright pink balaclava. So we've done the show, a place called Gun Ipikut, and the next morning I'm a smoker, so I'm stood there having a cigarette. Beautiful big lake in Bosnia. And this young officer from Sandhurst, he walks over. He said, you see these ducks? on the lake. I went, yeah, ducks, lakes, yeah, they like them, don't they? Yeah. Ducks like lakes, don't they? He said, well, these are flightless ducks. And you only get them in Bosnia. I said, where else are they going to go? This is going to come as a bit of a shock to a few of you. Hey! So are we all from Lancashire, are we? We're all from Lancashire? Yeah.
So we've got Yorkshire.
No foreigners.
Yorkshiremen here.
Hey?
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Nothing wrong with Yorkshire. And Liverpool. Brilliant. I'll keep Yorkshire first, can I? Because I met a dyslexic Yorkshireman and he was wearing a cat flap. But I'm from Liverpool. I'm from, born in Dingle, lived in Waversley most of my life. Where are you from?
Kirby.
Kirby. Rough as arsehole. Never forget going to Benidorm with my mates. We were all 18, all Scousers. And one of them, when we got there, he went, hey, Mick, I've been learning Spanish, so let me order the first bevies. So we all went, on you go. So he's walked to the bar and he went, por favor, tres grandes cervezas and one for me mate. Went on the train from Preston doing a gig in London. I'll get the train. I couldn't believe it, 280 quid. So I'm sat on one of them, you know, them tables of 4 people, and there's 3 fellas all with suits on, all with computers, and I'm sat on the end. And I noticed that he's got his computer in his own socket and his phone in my socket. I said, hey mate, paid a lot of money for this trip. He phoned out my socket. So he took it out, and I felt really embarrassed because he didn't have a phone. So I plugged my hair straighteners in. I was in being a Scouser, you know, our holiday was always North Wales coast, wasn't it? Talacha, or Patelwai, Butlins, Patelwai, and I started doing it as an act, Butlins, Patelwai. So from Liverpool, once you get past Conway, that's when the real Welsh signs kick in. You know, it just looks like someone's thrown a bag of Scrabble at it. And police aren't called police. Police are called the Headley. Don't have proper police cars, they're all yellow. So I've come out of Butlins, Patelwai, 3 o'clock in the morning, see this big yellow van behind me with Headley on it. I thought the local plumber, I'll lose him. And on country roads, especially in the summer, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's always a rabbit, isn't there? Apparently they collect car numbers. Most of them only get 1. So this copper stopped me. He said, what speed were you doing? I said, I was doing 70. He said, you were doing 84 miles an hour? I said, it's these bendy roads. I said, I can't see the dials. I said, this fir tree kept coming at me from the left and the right and the left. He said, that's your air freshener. He said, what would happen if Mr. Fogg came down? I said, say that again. He said, what would happen if Mr. Fogg came down? Oh, I said, if Mr. Fogg come down, I said, I'd get Mr. Foot. And I'd put Mr. Foot on Mr. Brake. He said, I said mist and fog. Sure, I got to Rill. And the fog come down. Well, you know, it's like driving in fog. You just get behind someone, don't you? Let them take the risks. I followed this fella for 17 miles at 12 miles an hour, and then he stopped dead. I've hit him right up the back. I'm out of the car, I've got him by the throat. He said, "What are you doing, you prat?" He said, "I'm in my garage." A lot of my work is cruises now. Recently I was on a cruise around Switzerland. That's do you know, I was on one ship, we went to Bermuda, and the fella in the band that played the triangle disappeared. Can't say you're ill. Oh. No, once we went to China, I bought a pair of flip-flops, and they looked underneath, they said, "Made round the corner." I was on one last week. I did a new ship called Spirits of Discovery, a saga ship, and it was absolutely fabulous. There was that many sticks walking up the gangway. I thought it was a hockey team. Well, they don't have like gyms and saunas and all that. They just have a dartboard and a morgue. And the captain doubles up as a coroner. I was on one P&O ship, and the doctor, every night when he closed the surgery, he went up to the Crow's Nest bar, and the barman there, Dick, had his cocktail waiting every night, which was an almond daiquiri. And I watched it for 5 nights. As soon as he walked in, it was on the counter, bang, ready. But one night, he had no almonds, the barman, so he made it with hickory nuts. And the doctor come in, he took one sip, he knew. He said, "That's not an almond daiquiri, Dick." He said, "No, it's a hickory daiquiri, Doc." I get away with some shit. How are you, mate? Where are you from? Jolly? Snap? It's great being bald, isn't it? You can hear snowflakes. Got this shampoo, it's called Shoulder. You know when they got the hairdresser, have you noticed they always sit in a chair then they start talking to the mirror? All right?
Right.
Shouldn't drink so much. Are you, Charlie, as well?
No, Warrington.
Warrington?
Yeah.
I used to live there.
Yeah.
What a shithole that.
Wigan.
Penketh.
Sankey.
I used to live in Penketh.
Great Sankey.
Great Sankey, that's next door to, isn't it?
Put one.
Hello?
Yeah.
You got a map?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, Penketh. Broad Oak Avenue. No, never mind. Shithole, that's why I left anyway. So, I used to work at Central Station, driving a crane. Warrington Central. Impressed with that, aren't you? I left there, I was a pro footballer for 4 years, played for Port Vale, a goalkeeper. Used to come with the cat. Used to piss on the goalpost. Used to give the back 4 kittens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been sat there. Doing a gig in Birmingham, and after the gig, great curry in Birmingham. So I've had a curry. Anyway, the next morning, stayed in the hotel in Birmingham. The next day after a curry, you never know the moment, do you? You know that little pain in the pit of your stomach, and you need to be somewhere. I'm on a 20-mile tailback on the M6 with cloth seats. I just made it to Kiel Services. Well, I've legged it in, I've left the car running. Trap 6. And the fellow in the next cubicle, he said, how are you doing? I said, how am I doing? I said, I'm relieved to be here. I said, I had a curry last night. I said, this morning, oh, pain in the pit of my stomach, and I'm just so glad I'm here. He said, how's your mum? I said, how's my mum? I said, what are you talking about, you prat? And he popped his head over the cubicle. He said, do you mind, mate? I'm on the phone. I live in Blackpool now, fabulous place, beaches near the sea. Do you know, I was doing a summer season on North Pier, I'll never forget, and my sister came to see me, and as she was walking back, right, to the end of the pier, she's lost her wedding ring, and it's gone through all the planks. 4 weeks later, it was so hot, I'm under the pier, in a deck chair, and I've just got my hand in the sand, and I'm just, you know, like as you do. You're not going to believe this. Dog shit. Joe and the Lighters are drunk and he's all over the tram lines, 11:30 at night. You know, with all the shit he's brought in the day in Blackpool. He's got the blow-up hammer, a green necklace lights up in the dark, and a sponge cowboy hat. And it's raining, he forgot his hat was sponge. He's going smaller and smaller. The tram driver said, look at the state of that. You better stop and give him a lift. Stopped his tram. He said, Fleetwood, mate. He said, yeah, just follow the tracks. But a mate of mine, he's got a rock factory, and you know, the last 2 years have been dreadful. I said, how have you gone on? He said, well, I nearly went under. He said, you know, Charlie worked for me for 20 years, he worked for my dad for 25 years, so I've had to let him go. I said, oh, bless him. I said, what's wrong with your face? He said, well, I give him a month's notice, and I've got 5 miles of rock with fuck off written through it. I was saying about the cruises. I was on one about 7 years ago. I went to Rome, and I couldn't believe it, you know. I've been having a look around, and it was a guided tour thing, you know, and dropped us off at the Vatican Arms, and we had a few pints in there. Then we went round to the Vatican shop. I got a pope on a rope. Nice thing for the grandkids, it's like a plastic pope and you screw his hat off and it's full of marshmallows. So we... not the religious ones here. But we were there when they were picking that new pope. And I never knew at the time, but did you know there was 2 in the final? I never knew this. There was the Argentinian bloke, and the other finalist, he was Italian. His name was Saccola. Can you imagine that? Pope Saccola. You'll never get a job, mate. Here's an impression from that fabulous film, Carrie Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Carrie! But I was in London doing a jig at the Park Lane Hotel. I thought, well, I'll just book in when I get there. So I've walked in the Park Lane Hotel. Can you imagine this hairstyle, jeans, trainers, t-shirt? The concierge, he's looked me up and down. He said, can I help you? I said, can I book in for the night? He said, do you think you can afford it? I said, yes. He said, it's £380. I said, that's all right. He said, would you like a shower or a bath? I said, well, what's the difference? He said, well, you sit down in the bath. I phoned the ambulance for him. So me and the wife got in the room and the wife said, are we taking the little bottles of shampoo? I said, we're taking the fucking curtains. Get the straps and tails on the pole, get the fucking lot down. It's £380. But it had everything, I must admit. You know, they had a swimming pool, jacuzzi, they had a spa, 380 quid, I'm in the spa, you know, I got my lottery tickets, some old limes, got milk. They had a sauna. Well, I've never been in a sauna in my life, so now I'm sat in a sauna, half naked, with 15 strange men. I bent my lips on this ladle trying to get a drink. Did a swimming pool. Last time I was in a swimming pool, when your time was up, a man used to go at you with a bamboo pole. In every swimming pool now, there's a chemical in the water. If a man has a pee in the water, it comes out bright blue, it's like ink. A woman has a pee in the water, it comes out pink. Me and the wife went down this pool, we were like the red arrows. Two bats hanging upside down in this cave, and one turns to the other, he said, I hope I never get incontinent. He'd shit on his face, wouldn't he? Hanging upside down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. It's been lovely to come to Chorley Theatre now, not Little Theatre. Why, how bigger is it? Next time, Chorley Massive Theatre. I think they do a great job, all these people. Give them a big round of applause, because they do a great job. Keeping things like this going for you. And it's also a cinema, actually, yes, which is nice. Because my manager of the local cinema in Blackpool died about 6 weeks ago, and went to the funeral, and it was at 11:30, 20 past 3, and when that fella landed on the moon, he was supposed to have said one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. He never actually said that. What he said was, there's no way a cow can jump over this. There's a fella flying over the Amazon basin in a one-engine plane, and his plane crashed. And he woke up in the middle of the Amazon, and there's a fella looking over him. He had a white face, monkey skins, feathers, he had a bone through his nose. Must have been Thursday. This fella said, where am I? This guy with all this stuff on, he went, actually, you're in the Amazon basin. I saw your plane crash. Put a splint on your leg and you'll be up in about 3 days. This fella said, are you English? He said, no, England's a place I've always wanted to visit. He said, well, your English is impeccable. He said, it is, isn't it? He said, I picked it up off a shortwave radio. Think back to when you were kids. When I was a kid, I'll never forget. Every grandma had a budgie. They did, didn't they? And my granddad, he was in his garden one day, and their budgie was like, he was allowed out in the lounge. So he's in the garden, and he went, young Michael, go and get me pipe and me swan vestas. So I ran in the lounge, and the budgie's I've stood on the budgie, broke its leg, right, and I'm thinking, oh shit, what am I going to do? So, hey, I'm only 9. I've got a swan vesta, elastic band, put it up, And it got up. I thought, I've got away with this. Limped a bit. But put it back in his cage. Well, as soon as it walked on the fucking sandpaper, so later on, thanks for coming to see us and keep this wonderful theatre going. Here's a song by Cliff Richard. From a distance. Well, I work a lot with tribute acts. Recently I've been on with quite a few. I was on with Amy Housewine, Cliff Richard, allegedly. He's a great band from Yorkshire, they're called the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've got this new car, Toyota. I'm not into cars. Just, you know, I want to get from A to B and I don't care what. And this Toyota is set on the factory setting, which is Japanese. So the sat nav is set in Japanese. Japanese woman talks to me. She goes straight on motorway. Turn left at right. I put in Wigan and this voice went, oh, you don't go there. So I'll finish off. Can you imagine a fellow on the radio doing the Noddy programme for kids? And hey, you want to get out more. Did you watch that Vegas programme?
Yeah.
I was in Las Vegas. It's so funny. I mean, I was just amazed. You know, little Scouse lad in Las Vegas. And we're in the Luxor Hotel, which is a pyramid. The hotel's a pyramid. How that works, I don't know. And I'm booking in. I said, "What a fabulous place." He said, "It wasn't last night, sir. Last night, a man lost $8 million in that casino, and he was suicidal. And he went up to his room and he jumped out the window and slid down to the car park." So a fellow on the radio doing a Noddy programme against hates kids, and he's an alcoholic. Don't forget, it's on the radio. Thank you. Morning kids, it's a Noddy show. You're all listening to your radios. What did little Noddy do today? He wakes up, doesn't he? Goes in the bathroom for a wash. And you hear little Noddy filling the sink with water. Little Noddy's got a big sink. He said, "Oh shit, I'll have a bath." Then he goes downstairs for his breakfast. There's milkman. Pours himself a cup of tea. He poured himself some toast. And a running egg. Then he goes in his car with his friend Gordon. Oh, Gordon. He's going on his holidays. Scotty Bottling. And he met a Scottish Red Indian. Hawkeye to do. And he met a Scouse Red Indian. Hang on a mo. Went in a cake shop in Glasgow. He said, "Is that a custard or meringue?" He said, "No, you're not wrong, it's a custard." When he's driving through Scotland, he showed Thomas a tank engine. And Thomas went into this tunnel with a little puff. And Thomas came out with a tender behind. And his car stopped and Noddy said, oh, my car's won't go. Phone the AA man. He said, what's wrong? Hey! Oh, there was no water in the radiator, no. No water in the ice whoppers. No water in the airbag. He said, what's wrong with my car, eh, man? He said, shit in the carburetor. Oh, he said, how often do I have to do that? Charlie, thank you very much for my welcome. Thank you.